Hi everybody, welcome to Stitch in Time. I'm your host Boysie. I hope everything's going well with you. I hope your journey is moving along smoothly. I wish the best for you. Obviously we're going to have bumps in the road. We're going to have different challenges as we go along. Things may pop up and surprise us, like sometimes fun things like a cat coming up to say hello to you. That's Mamacita, if you remember. She likes to get in a lot of shots. Anyways, it's just nice to be able to communicate with you and reach out and say hello and how are you. I got the Happiness One Day at a Time book, of course, and we're going to cover today's topic, which is they're interesting. Every time we cover something like this, I realize something about myself or something that I recognized in somebody else that I experienced, and I always think that that's kind of a interesting, very interesting way to look at life and evaluate what you're doing. It's very important you look at yourself and see what you've done. Step out of your own character, look at yourself and see what you've accomplished for the day. See if you met some of your goals and some of your little challenges. You want little challenges every day so that you can progress forward. You don't want to, you can't climb the staircase in one step. You have to do many steps. And sometimes we step back a few and try it again. That is life. That's part of the journey, what I was talking about. Life is not a finish line. Yay, I made it. It's a journey. And that's what we have to realize. It's not like a 2-hour movie, end of the movie, oh, what a great story, what a great life. Oh, wait a minute, he's still alive. What's he going to do now? Oh, probably another movie, but it'll be something different. So the actor's life is a series of movies, not just one movie. And that's the way our life is as well, not just one play. It just keeps going on. And they've also said that as far as acts are concerned, there's no second acts in American life. And there is if you reach sobriety. It's a whole new thing, a whole new way of life, a whole new way of looking at things. Everything is brighter, more vibrant. You're connected more, and you try to become even more connected with the people around you and the network of community, whether they're in a drug program with you or they're just your neighbors. Anyways, June 25th is the date we're going off of, and the title is Talking Isn't Necessarily Communicating. When you meet people who are compulsive talkers, you soon realize that they cannot communicate. You may even want to shake them to get a chance to get a word into the conversation every now and then, but not recommended. Compulsive talkers can't really help us. They have their own very special path to travel, and keep that in mind. They're a passing comet. Let them pass. Don't get in their way. Maybe one day they'll run out of breath long enough to hear something else besides the sound of their own voices. If you think about it, some people have a script. I look at it as a script. You're going to tell something about yourself. You're going to talk about something. We have certain scripts when we get into a social situation. Hi, my name is Boysie. Yes, I work in the restaurant business. I'm also Ubering, and yeah, it's very interesting. And stories will come out from that, or stories will come out from working in a bar. Then eventually they'll offer a drink, and I'll say, "Oh no, I don't drink. Not what you. Isn't a driver tonight?" I'm trying to feel it out. No, I don't drink at all. Really? Ever? No. How long have you been sober? 30 years. Wow, really? What? You ever think of having one? No. How long have you been married? 15 years? You ever think of having an affair? Well, it's all about truth. And that's the whole thing, is everything is always about the truth. It's always about the truth and how you project yourself. The more truthful you project yourself, the more people will recognize it. You got to keep that in mind. Sometimes we put on a mask, a hat, a new shirt. Looks like I'm going on holiday. You change up your wardrobe, you change up the way you enter a room, just for the fun of it, for your own little pleasure. But when you start talking to me, the story is still the same. I don't change any of that. People who are just, like in this book here, talking about talking isn't necessarily communicating. If you're a compulsive talker, you may have this script and you just blurt it out and you just rattle through it, and then pretty soon you talk about your likes, and pretty soon you're oh yes, I did the same thing myself. And a compulsive talker, you could be in a situation where someone would say, hey, Jenny, didn't you just have a baby? You have a baby boy? How what? I know I had a baby myself, about 4 years ago, and then they just go on and on and on and on and on. And it's like they're like broadcasting from an FM radio station, or nowadays AM, that's where talk radio is located, right? And all they're doing is just broadcasting their message, and that's all they do. And they just talk, and you really don't feel like you really know that person. And that's the whole thing. You lose the connection. They have their own path. Maybe one day they will realize this is why they're lonely. This is why they don't have the deep friendships that they always wish they had. They don't understand why they don't have deep friendships, because I tell everybody everything about myself. How can I not have friends? You're not listening. You're not listening to the people you're talking to. You're not giving them the ground to speak as well. I also blame like modern media and left and right media, because basically if they go ahead and talk and have some sort of word salad that they spit out on TV, you can have two people having a debate and neither one of them are actually saying anything. Just their little talking points are trying to get it across the commercial. But you will hear them and they will just be like, well, yes, I understand what you're saying, but as I talk to you, I'm going to sound very sincere because I want to come across as a passionate person. And even though I'm not going to answer your question here on television in front of everybody, I'm going to put up that compassionate face and throw a few of my talking points in and try to act like I'm concerned and going to listen to you. And then the other side of act indignant and say, well, I don't think that you're really dealing from the top of the deck, and I really can't trust you. You're very crooked, and I don't really feel that you are a real entity or a media, and I don't really, but I'm doing it on purpose because, when I do it, the people that are on my side are going, I like this guy. He leans into a controversy. He ain't afraid to flinch. He's my guy. He's a tough guy. He's going to get things done, and he's not doing anything either. These are compulsive talkers. We see them all the time on television. So as we're being washed over on television with this, we're going to look at it and say, wow, that's a great way to go. That's how they talk in societies today. That's how things are done today. And that's where you fall into those traps. You don't want to fall into those traps, because then you become a compulsive talker and you have nothing to reveal to other people as well. Your life will become less than you want it to be. And that's not what you're here for. You want to try to embrace everything you possibly can get. You want to be able to listen to other people. The stories they have are amazing. They're fantastic. You sit back and you listen. Everyone's on a journey. If they're on the same path as you, in the same direction as you, it can be very enlightening. If they're in an opposite journey, it's still very interesting. Why is that person different than me? Why is that person going that way? Why do they believe in those certain things? How come they're completely different from me? I find this very appealing. I want to find out more, because the more you learn why they're going in other direction, the more you'll learn about yourself. So you have to keep your ears open, your eyes open, and you want to make sure that you're communicating properly with everyone. That's the key to it. If you want to remain sober, you're going to have to engage with people, and not like-minded people where that's just safe and we're in the same tribe and we're speaking the same room. Boom, 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 boom. We all look the same. We all talk the same. We all used to drink the same thing. We all want to be sober now. And it's like, no, even AA groups are completely American, because you'll go in there and you'll see different races, different creeds, different religions, different sex and sexual preferences. They're not all just white guys from Texas or nice, friendly Oriental ladies from San Francisco. They're all from different areas, different backgrounds, but there's a common thread. The common thread is the weakness to the addiction. And I've told people before, it's like when they talk about America, it's like America is a melting pot, always has been. We've always had immigrants and different types of people. There isn't one color, there isn't one religion. There never has been. We left another country for freedom of religion, not freedom to spread our one religion. No, many religions. We're open to it. If you believe in the First Amendment, you have to believe in many different religions. If you believe in the Second Amendment, you have to listen to the First Amendment. It isn't just like one amendment and I'm going to keep it and this is how I'm going to live my life. I'm a single issue voter. It's like saying I can't think of more than two things at once. It's actually embarrassing. You have to be able to multitask, see what the other person is doing. Why are they on a different path than me? They're wrong. Why are they wrong? Did you look at it? Well, they're just going opposite of me, so therefore they're wrong. Wow, there has to be more thought than that. There really does. Well, that's what they said on the TV show that I've been watching. You need more thought than that, because you need truth and thought and tenderness. You need to have that in your daily life, or your sobriety's not going to have it. Your sobriety's going to trip, stumble, and fall quicker than you even planned. Truth is truth. You have to have the truth. Now, listening to a compulsive talker is just amusing. Just walk away when you get the opportunity and think, wow, maybe one day they'll slow down and maybe they will run out of something or hear something that someone else said and went, oh, wow, maybe I should listen. But if you're not a compulsive talker, you need to make sure you are out there engaging with other people. Not all the people from your same group, not all the people that are sitting on the same pew of your church. Because I'll guarantee you talk to everyone that's sitting next to you, you know them. But have you gone back 13 rows, lucky 13, to talk to somebody back there? And more than just a hello, how are you? Did you walk up and engage and introduce yourself? And if you're in a church setting, does your church have an AA meeting? Do you go to these things? Are you a functional member? Do you secretly go? That's okay, it's anonymous. Do you go to another church because you really want to remain anonymous? That's your prerogative too. If you're like me, you're the one holding the flag and making sure that everyone knows exactly where you're going, what's being done, and how great this organization is. And the people that are in there are striving for a better life. That, to me, is exciting. And I'm engaged with a lot of people that do things like that. And it's fun. It's exciting. It can also sometimes be terrifying, like standing up in a roller coaster. But the best thing about all of this is you are moving forward. You are progressing forward. You are becoming an individual that is engaged in speaking with people. You are starting to enhance your relationships, whether they're just a romantic relationship or whether it's just a friend that you work with or just a neighbor. Or just talk to another person you never met downtown and engage with them for 2-3 minutes. Walk away feeling very positive, and so do they. Guess what? Positive things are moving from that little bit of something. There's a lot of negative force on TV because they want you to think one way, they want you to behave a certain way, and they want you to buy their special brand of soap that they're selling. You're being manipulated and you're being reeled in. The truth of the matter is, I see it. I can't really do anything about it. I'll speak about it, but it can also frustrate me too. But I don't let it get to the core of me. I still have a journey. I can still fly under that kind of radar. You have to, I guess, remain focused on what you're trying to achieve. And for me, it's connection, connection, connection. interacting with people. It keeps everyone from being basically caught up in a situation where you this thing is distracting me now. Basically, you're caught up in a situation where you are becoming a person that actually is evolving, a person that is actually getting things done. And when you get things done, you will feel a progression, you will feel yourself moving forward. That's the important thing. That's how you can look back over your shoulder and say, look at the progression I'm making by communication and connection. I guess that's it. It was nice communicating with you. It's a beautiful day, and I'm going to go out and enjoy it and work this afternoon. And I hope you have yourself a great day, either with your family or just running about. Even when you're doing errands, connect with people, talk with people that you're checking out with, engage with them a little bit more. It's easier to engage with strangers. And once you do that and you realize it's really fun, you'll start doing it more and more, and then you may bring it home to people who you know. And that's where that's where the rubber meets the road. That's where you can really test yourself with your family, and that's the important thing. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate you stopping in. Peace and love. Peace and love. This was Stitch in Time. I'm Boysie. You're you. I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you very much.